Hello and welcome. I am Ashmanix, and in this video we're gonna start playing The Sweetest Monster visual novel. And I'm still recovering from my cold, so I apologise for any of the coughs and clearing of throats that will happen throughout this playthrough. But yes, I've decided to do this, to pre-record this one rather than stream, just because I have time outside of normal streaming hours. And yeah, also this is supposed to be like a psychological thriller, dark visual novel thing. This was a recommendation from one of the chat, from Hentai Hero, I believe. It's a recommendation I think I got from them ages ago, and I've just recently kind of got around to giving it a go. So here we go. Let's pull up our trousers, tie our shoelaces, and what the hell am I saying? Get into this new game. I remember when Great Aunt Clarice was still alive. She had a black cat called Belle. Oh, and I forgot to say that I'm going to do this without any avatar, PNG or 3D or otherwise. So we'll just do this kind of raw. I remember when Great Aunt Clarice was still alive. She had a black cat called Belle. Now, that isn't strictly true. Great Aunt Clarice didn't just have one cat over her long life. She had several. Maybe it's because she never had any children. I don't know. I'm not a psychologist, and diagnosing somebody after their death seems rather callous to me. Great Aunt Clarice always loved cats. After the death of Great Uncle Albert, however, she began to dote on them more and more. She would sit them on her lap and talk to them, and she looked at them so intensely you would have thought she was waiting for a reply. It was kind of sad, now that I think about it. I didn't find it sad when I was little though. I thought it was scary. I never liked going to see a Great Aunt Clarice. She would sit in her armchair, bent double, back hunched, like the eponymous bell ringer from Victor Hugo's famous novel, stroking her cats with her withered, ropey hands. I guess she was your archetypal crazy cat lady. At her lowest point, she had 6 of the things, shedding hair around the house and dragging dead birds across the welcome mat in the kitchen. I don't remember much about her cats. I mean, they're just cats. You've seen one cat, you've seen them all, right? Wow, what is this stuff against cats, man? But Belle was different. I remember Belle. It's a pretty cat. Belle was a black cat, proud and stately, her eyes greener than anything I'd ever seen before. She disliked people in general, and would hiss and spit whenever unwanted fingers strayed too near to her glossy coat. She hissed at me, at mother, at father, and she definitely hissed at Great Aunt Clarice. When she was truly enraged, Belle would even try to scratch us. I can still remember how it felt when Belle's claws raked across the backs of my hands. I can still remember the ugly red welts she caused. She drew blood on more than one occasion. Mother and father were upset, but Great Aunt Clarice simply tutted and said, "Well, what could you do?" My parents, as may be expected, were not very happy about this laissez-faire response. As a result, they stopped visiting her for several weeks. They couldn't hold out for long, though. My mother probably felt guilty for storming out of her house like that, even though the welfare of her only son was at stake. But not really. I mean, I'm still alive and kicking, which is more than can be said for Great Aunt Clarice. Belle's violent assaults didn't leave any lasting scars, not physically. Mentally, I'm also doing fine, though I did become a primary school teacher, so you might think otherwise. But those scratches were hardly the worst things Belle did to me. I remember I was playing with a model aeroplane. It wasn't anything special, certainly not electronic. All I could do was throw it like a glorified frisbee, but I enjoyed it all the same. I was running through Great Aunt Clarice's overgrown jungle of a back garden, all uncut grass that reached past the ankles, and old, dead apple trees that hadn't given any apples for years and years when I noticed it. Great Aunt Clarice's garden is rather big. Was big, I should say, because the garden doesn't belong to her anymore. It had apple trees, like I said, but also had a vegetable garden, a disused pen where Great Uncle Albert used to keep chickens, and a lake. A lake? A rather large lake lined with willow trees, like something from a picture book. Like the lake in the beginning of Alice in Wonderland. Maybe I was channeling Alice myself that day, though I didn't tumble into Wonderland searching for white rabbits. Instead, I, quite foolishly, looking back on it, fell headfirst into the lake whilst trying to save the life of a black cat. I heard a yowl and a loud splash, and I turned, my plane forgotten. It landed on the ground and bounced a couple of times, but hardly noticed. I was too busy staring out at the lake, staring at Belle. The old saying states cats have 9 lives, but I wasn't naive enough to believe that, even at the age of 6. I'd already been to Great Uncle Albert's funeral, so I knew that when people died, they stayed in the ground and didn't get back up again. Belle did not have 9 lives, she only had 1 life, and it was precious. Belle had scratched me only a few months prior, and I didn't particularly like her, but I didn't want her to drown. That was why I decided to rescue her. I meant well, but as it soon transpired, this was an incredibly stupid idea for several reasons. For one thing, I could not swim. For another, Belle could. I can't really remember what happened after that. This is where my memory goes foggy. All I have to rely on is hearsay from my parents and reports from doctors. They told me I almost drowned. I didn't see a light at the end of the tunnel or anything, or if I did, I don't remember it. But there is something I do remember from that ordeal, splashing helplessly in the icy cold lake in Aunt Clarice's garden. I remember watching, slowly drowning, as Belle pulled herself out of the lake right before my eyes, rendering my rescue attempt null and void. Now, I'm just guessing, but I might imagine the last thought I had, right before I swallowed a mouthful of fetid water and lost consciousness, was, "You really are an idiot." More than 30 years later, I don't think I've changed all that much. Just ask my wife, Sally. May the 11th, Tuesday. Right, is this the wife? Sally doesn't like Arabella Waite, and I can't say I blame her. I don't think I like Arabella Waite that much either. Is it Waite? I hope I'm pronouncing that right. That being said, that being the case, it's strange Sally seems to be labouring under the entirely misguided apprehension that I might be having an affair with her. Why are you always so kind to that awful woman, Robin? I can't stand her. The two of us are sitting together in the living room, the curtains drawn, the TV buzzing in the background like a particularly lackadaisical swarm of bees. I'm not sure what we're supposed to be watching because I haven't been paying any attention. I think it's some kind of crime drama. That would explain the stiff, lifeless corpse of a teenage girl sprawled across the TV screen, her hair wringing wet. Crime dramas have a strange fixation with dead girls, particularly drowned dead girls. Maybe they think it's edgy. Maybe they think it's sexy. The Raphaelites sure seem to think so, given their unhealthy obsession with poor Ophelia. I can't really comment on the sexiness, or otherwise, of this dead girl. She reminds me too much of Melly. Who's Melly? I know you can't stand her, Sal, but her money is worth just as much as anybody else. Oh wait, this is us. We are Robin, I assume? But her money is worth just as much as anybody else's. Every little counts and all that. Don't regurgitate advertising jingles at me, Robin. Even if they're catchy. Even so, I don't think Sally's watching the TV either. She's glaring at the wall, squeezing a cushion so tightly it would scream if it could. Why did she have to come and pick Annette up so early? She knows her piano lessons don't finish until 6:30. Annette being the kid? Wait, is this the mother? So Annette might be the child having piano lessons with ourselves, Robin or Sally, and this Arabella person. Is it Arabella? Can I? Is it? 1 second. I'm going to try some first. Let me save. Right, and now if this is... Oops, that is not what I wanted to do. Nope, that is not what I wanted to do. Right. How do you look at the auto skip save? Is there a way to look? No, I guess there's no way to reread text. Maybe she's lonely. So she decides to invade our home and invite herself in for coffee. Well, I guess I was the one who invited her in for the coffee, but I didn't really have a choice. You could have told her to leave. I couldn't, Sal. Not when she'd come all this way. I'd have felt bad. So you'd feel bad about inconveniencing Arabella's sodding wait, but you don't have any sympathy for me? I had to listen to her banging on about her divorce for half an hour. I felt like I was going to go mad. Ouch. I'm sorry about that, Sally Pally. Sally Pally, what the hell? I tried to give Sally a sympathetic look, but I'm not sure how much of an effect it's having. Sally isn't even looking at me. She's too busy seething. If you really were sorry... If you really were sorry, you wouldn't have dumped her on me like that. I'm a translator, not a professional entertainer. Oh, translator, that sounds cool. I know, I'm sorry about that, Sal. I really am. I didn't know what to do. I could hardly cut Annette's piano lesson short because her mother turned up too early. Okay. We're a piano tutor. Annette is our student. And Arabella is her mum. Cool. And her mum has been recently divorced. I bet she did it on purpose. It's because you're always so nice to her, Robin. You're too soft. I mean, it's nice to be nice, right? I don't like the way Sally says nice. It sounds accusatory. Like she's trying to frame me for a crime I haven't committed. It is true that Arabella Waite is fairly attractive as far as single mothers go, but she is also arguably Arabella Waite. Arabella Waite's daughter, Annette, is a student at the school I work at. She's been having piano lessons with me for 2 years. My relationship with the charming Madame Waite, however, is strictly one of business. I hardly ever talk to her. Well, Arabella Waite tries to talk to me. I go along with it because that's more polite than ignoring her, as Sally would prefer. But I don't try to encourage conversation. Why would I? If I'm being brutally honest, I think Arabella Waite is something of a snob, and she's boring with it. Wow. I don't know why she gave her daughter such a fancy French name. Arabella Waite doesn't have a single French bone in her body. I mean, if Arabella's called Arabella, is it that surprising she would choose something like Annette? I don't know. I mean, can you not call... I don't know. Do you just call her Anne instead? Whatever. What about the father? Is the father French? Though Arabella Waite's getting divorced, she's been in the process of getting divorced for more than 7 months now, I feel sorrier for Annette than for her. I think Annette's the kind of 9-year-old girl who's been forced to grow up far, far too quickly. She's less of a daughter to her mother than a constant live-in counsellor. No wonder she's always so quiet during her piano lessons. And I'm sure that she'd be embarrassed as well that if her mum comes early and starts talking about the issues they're having and she's like, I just want to have my piano lesson, I want to be away from this. I don't know. This is not how I thought this story would go. This is a very interesting way to set... Well, this is a very interesting setting, right? I have to be nice to her, Sal. She's a paying customer and she's going through a tough time. I know she's going through a tough time. I know all about that, Robin, because she told me in detail. She told me more than I would like to know. Well, Sally sniffs. If the way she looks at you is anything to go by, I have no doubts as to why her last husband packed his bags. What? You're being a tad judgmental, don't you think? I'm not being judgmental, I'm just saying like it is. She's always been far too friendly with you. Perhaps, but it's not like I return her feelings, whatever they might be. I just want to help Annette pass her grade 4 piano exam. And that's why you went out for coffee with Arabella last week, is it? Because you wanted to help Annette? I sigh heavily. So we're back to this again, are we? I thought we'd exhausted this topic last night. We certainly went over it enough times. I hate the women at that ridiculously keep fit club Sally goes to. I swear they don't even try to lose weight. From what I've gathered, they meet up every Monday solely so they can gossip. Wow, this is changing the subject. Mrs. Harris is the worst. I knew I was in hot water the moment I saw her enter Costa last Saturday, trying to console a crying Arabella Waite over my cappuccino. Right, so you got caught by the gossipy women that Sally gossips with at the club. Oh, and she must have gossiped with everyone else, and Sally found out about it. Well, man. What, Costa? Wait, where was this game made? In the UK? Is this a UK game? Costa sounds very... is Costa in the US? I feel like that's more of a European or a UK... It's a UK brand? I don't know. I already told you, Sal, I didn't want to go for a coffee with her. We just bumped into each other and she suggested it, that's all. But you didn't need to agree with her. No, I didn't. But I think she needs somebody to talk to. The divorce must be pretty hard. She started crying, Sal. And I guess she needed a strong, handsome, already married, let me add, knight to sweep her off her feet. Did you say that I was handsome? Is this guy handsome? Come off it. What was I supposed to do? My heart isn't made of steel. But what about me, Robin? How do you think that made me feel? I think the issue... It sounds to me that the issue is more... It's not so much that he had coffee with Arabella Waite. It's that it was seen by this Mrs. Harris person and the gossip spread around and embarrassed Sally. That's what it feels like, rather than the thing itself. I wasn't thinking about you at the time, to be quite honest. I was more concerned about Arabella Waite smearing her mascara, which definitely was not waterproof, no matter what she said, down the front of my shirt. What? What? She was like rubbing her face in your shirt? Mate, come on. So you're telling me you gave her a hug too? Shit. Yeah, mate. That's bad. I didn't mean to let that one slip. I'm such a smooth talker. Still, mate. But, well... I think she might have hugged me first, and it wasn't a hug. Not really. She was just trying to hide her face. Like I said, she was crying so much her makeup had started to run. Being hugged by her was like being embraced by a depressed clown. Wow. Wow. Why is everyone... like... It was an interesting experience, but not one I'm keen to relive anytime soon. Like, I get that this woman is a pain, and she's snobby, and she's oversharing with you guys when you're not, like, you're just a piano tutor. And you get the feeling that she might like you and you're not into that. But this is a bit harsh, man. Depressed clown. I mean, there's other ways to describe it. That hug. Jesus Christ, I can't believe it. First you invite her out for a coffee, and now you're telling me you've been letting her cry into your chest out in public? In public is the key word. Why did she need to emphasize the out in public part? Isn't that better than embracing her in private? You've not clicked. The issue is that you're embarrassing her. I don't think she genuinely suspects that you're having an affair with her. I think she's just not happy that she's being embarrassed in public. Which, to be fair, I get that, right? You shouldn't... I mean, if you're married and stuff like that, you shouldn't be... you should have a thought. The fact that this has came out now and people have found out... yeah, I mean, I don't think Sally's right in, like... arguing with him so much on this topic. But... I do think that he should take note that she's not happy that they're talking about this and it's making it sound like he's having an affair. And I'm assuming this Robin guy, our protagonist here, is fairly attractive. I mean, she even said it. I don't know if she's being sarcastic. She might have been. But I don't understand women. You're married to one man, you have a kid. Well, wait, we don't know if you have a kid. Look, Sal, I know it sounds kind of bad, but it really wasn't like that. I'm not interested in her. Really, I'm not. Even if she does wear all those low-cut shirts. Why? Also, don't mention that. You're making it look suspect. That isn't the part that upsets me the most, though, Robin. That's not the real issue here. Yes, get to the point. Go on, tell him. Damn, Sally sounds mad enough as it is. And this isn't the real issue. I tried to think what that might be. I'm disappointed in you. You said you were going to go out with me and Melly last Saturday. You promised. Mate, did he not? Ah, of course, Melly. I knew I was forgetting something. Who's Melly? Is that your kid? It's a good thing that something is only my daughter. Dude. Fuck. Right. All of a sudden, protagonist is an asshole. That one line is just like made me think this guy's an asshole. You forgot about the Saturday thing? You know, at least Sally told you what the real issue here is, or what the core issue, the thing that was really pissing her off. A lot of people don't do that. They don't even realise it. Right, listen. Look, I know what I said, and I really didn't mean it. I just got distracted, that's all. Distracted? Too busy trying to console poor Arabella, were we? That isn't it, Sally. I didn't know what to do. You had a thing to do? You literally had a thing to do with your wife and daughter? Could you not have just said that? You said, I'm sorry. I have to see my wife and daughter. Like it wasn't only last week's either. You've been promising Melly you had have a day out with her for almost a month and you still haven't. Just what is so pressing that you can't put one measly day aside for your daughter? I know it's shoddy behaviour. I really am sorry. I've just been busy. This sounds like excuses. Busy? How busy can you be? You're a music teacher in a primary school. What? Why can't you be busy as a music teacher in a primary school? What is this shade? Why is everyone coming across this... Well, okay. Everyone's angry. The protagonist has been doing some shitty things by ignoring his daughter and not properly setting time for her. He had time to console a crank. Granted, that was more immediate and in his face, but still. Sally's... the wife is understandably pissed. And so she's now just like, you know, picking on, I don't know, being a primary school music teacher. It's hardly rocket science. It's not science at all. It's not even a proper subject. The truth comes out. Why couldn't you have been a science teacher? Mother said I should have married the science teacher guy. He was teaching secondary school students. Oh, how now Sally's done it. I love her and all. I kind of have to since she's my wife. But I'm tired of hearing this shit about my job day in and day out. Even Arabella bleeding weight got on my case about it last Saturday in Costa, and between all her tears. What, like, they're ripping into you because you're a music teacher? What the hell is the shade? I'm being a primary school music teacher. Oh, I envy you, Robin. Working at a primary school and doing music too. It must be so relaxing, making a living out of something you're passionate about. No, mate, that's not how this works. Toiling away in an office all these years has really started to grind me down. I guess you wouldn't know anything about that, would you? Oh my god. Yeah, right. Because trying to stop a class of 5-year-olds hitting each other over the heads with their recorders is so much fun. I'm living the dream here, folks. Yeah, I'm pretty sure most people don't dream of becoming a primary school music teacher. I mean, maybe a primary school teacher, but even then, being a teacher is... I don't know, man. Like, it's not all fun and games. Granted, there's worse jobs out there. Oh man, This is just not this is not great. For your information, Sally, music is a proper subject, and my job is a proper job. It's more proper than yours. At least I actually leave the house. Whoa, what is this? Like, these are all like just fucking ad hoc, like not even ad hominems. They're just like bullshit arguments that don't actually just snipes at each other. Sally stares at me, her face a pale death mask. There's nothing wrong with working from home, man. Get over yourself. What was that, Robin? What did you just say? I know I've gone too far. I mean, she did start this, but you should... just because someone starts something doesn't mean you should finish it. Because it just makes it worse. But I can't back down now. It's already too late. In for a penny, in for a pound. See that? See that? In for a penny, in for a pound. It's going to screw you over. I said my job is more proper than yours. Unlike you, I can't sit on my backside all day with a TV on in the background. You know, it's funny, right? I would say that Sally... That's great, right? If you can do a job that you enjoy, you're able to work from home, you can have the TV on while doing your work. Like, these are all good things, right? This is like just meanness by sniping at each other over this. How dare you say that to me? Just because I want work from home doesn't mean my job is any less real than yours. Now, I hope he comes back and he goes, exactly. Just because I teach music, does that make my job any less important or any less of a job than any other job? Besides, music is nothing more than a hobby. It's not important, not in the grand scheme of things. It's a very, very narrow-minded way of doing things. We never need music. What are you talking about? Have you translated any music? I don't know, man. Like, these arguments. Music is necessary. Yeah, because the thing about the arts, a lot of people's like, we don't need the arts. And you're like, what is life without the arts? Like, we're not all utilitarian, just doing what needs to be done to survive. To enjoy life is where the arts come in. It's like that other half of life. And granted, you could technically live without the arts. Well, I think you can. You might not even be able to, but even if you could, what type of life is that? God. What? This is so depressing, this argument. Music is necessary, no matter what you say. Being able to play an instrument is an important life skill. And that's why you stopped trying to teach Melly, is it? Because it's such an important life skill. Yeah, why did he stopped teaching his daughter? I stopped for Melly's sake. She hated it. I just don't think the piano is for her, and I have other students to teach, so you'll teach them, but not Melly, not her daughter. I wonder why. I'm sure money has nothing to do with it. Nothing at all. Oh, this is so bad. Sally. Don't you Sally me. You're in the wrong and you know it. That's why you've gone quiet. It's because you know you've done something you should feel guilty about. No, it's because it's so bad. You're insinuating he's only teaching these kids because he wants to get with their mums. Are they all single or unhappy? What is this? What is this shade? Sally looks at me with undisguised disgust. She might as well be examining a cockroach. I just feel as welcome. I feel just as welcome. I'm going to sleep. Don't even think about coming into my bedroom tonight. I don't want to see your face. My bedroom. Oh, this is so bad. Oh my god. My bedroom? What's with that possessive? I did pay for half the house. Nice selective memory there, Sal. With that, Sally storms up the stairs, her messy bun bouncing. It's good to know that our bun was messy, I guess. I watch as she ascends, slamming one foot after the other with more force than necessary. I can't see her face, but her posture makes her feelings more than evident. Don't follow me. If you do, you're dead. Sleeping on the sofa. You know what? And it's if we had a spare room, I'd be like, I would buy a really comfy bed for the spare room. So at times like this, I'd just go and sleep there. And I put a TV in there as well. Because I'm an asshole. Ah, dear oh dear. I sigh, rubbing the back of my neck with one hand. Don't worry about that, Sal. I wasn't planning on it. I may have almost drowned when I was a kid. I'm not suicidal. Wow, what a way to set the scene, eh? There's a river a short walk away from my house. Oh, sorry, not my house. Mine and Sally's. It'd be a little hypocritical of me to call Sally out for laying single-handed claim to our bedroom and then do the same thing about our home, wouldn't it? No, but you can call your house my house when you're talking to someone else, right? But it doesn't mean that you're the sole owner. But I feel like in that conversation, you're just establishing it's the home that you call your own. Or you could have just said, our house. Anyway, let me try that again. There's a river a short walk away from our house. Nice. Maybe 10 or 15 minutes. The river isn't pretty by any stretch of the imagination. Hardly something to wax poetic over. Even the greatest of romantics would struggle to say something nice about it. The river is dark brown, choked with mud and dirt, and people use it as a kind of communal dustbin, ignoring the real bins that exist for that very purpose. It's usually filled with broken beer bottles, carrier bags from the nearby supermarket, and fast food containers. It's not a pleasant sight. Wait, supermarket? Right, this is definitely a UK, like, a visual novel made in the UK. Must be. Once I saw a sofa soaking in there, unmoved by the torrents of muddy water that rushed at it. Oh, wow. It isn't rare to see shopping trolleys basking in those murky depths, shallows, more like. Their motionless wheels aloft in the air. I don't envy the guys who have to dredge all that shit back out of that river. Must be a rotten job, far worse than mine. Most people, my wife included, look vaguely amused when I tell them I teach music in a primary school. So you play around with tambourines and castanets all day? What is this fucking abuse? But at least being a teacher is a respectable job. Semi-respectable. It's proper. Not like lake dredger or whatever their official name is. Do they even have an official name? I mean, what do you mean by... I think that's a respectable job. If your job is to go in and have to clean up the environment, I mean, it's a horrible job, but it's nothing disrespect or... So I think it's a respectable job. What is this shade? Why is everyone throwing shade at everyone else? People who clean up the rubbish from the river, right, are not people that we should be throwing shade at. At any rate, though this river is hardly a picturesque point of local interest, more like an eyesore, everybody says, I still like it. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's the sound of the rushing water. Yeah, that's nice. It's strange that I like this river so much, since I almost drowned in my youth. That's never really bothered me. Whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Well, true, but sometimes you can get totally scarred from it. So, as I always do when I'm feeling unsettled, which has been more and more frequently as of late, I find myself standing on that bridge, overlooking the surface of the water. It's a dark night and the water doesn't look brown, as it usually does. It's black like ink, the skeleton of a shopping trolley sticking out of its muddy banks. There would be a shopping trolley, there always is. I suppose it's comforting in a way. Some things never change. Not like my relationship with Sally. That's changed a hell of a lot. It happened so gradually too. I didn't even realise how much it had deteriorated until... Until what? I don't want to say it until it was too late, because that sounds horribly maudlin. Maudlin? But I sigh, resting my hands against the wrought iron railings. The iron is cold, chilled by the biting wind, and my fingers spasm. If I stay here for too long, I'm going to catch cold. I know that, but I can't bring myself to move. I continued to stand there, frozen, staring into the river. The water parts when it hits the shopping trolleys, swirling about in circles. Ah, did I just feel a spot of moisture on my head? The rain starts to fall from the sky in a fine mist, light and ephemeral. Well, not that ephemeral, still getting wet. I should go. I've dallied here long enough, lost myself in indulgent thoughts. Sally might be getting worried. And again, maybe not. I wonder, if I slipped and fell over the guardrail, would Sally mind? Would Melly? Maybe Arabella White would, but I don't care what she thinks. Sally's right. I haven't been spending enough time with Melly. I only ever see her at dinner when we sit together at the table, lost inside our own respective silences. Happy families. She doesn't talk to me, doesn't even look at me. Wow. I'm not sure why I called her Melody. It's a big name to live up to, with a lot of unspoken hopes and dreams mixed in. That was my first mistake. I turn, ready to make my weary way back home when... Guess who? Ah. My vision is suddenly obscured by a darkness... Oh, wait, what? My vision is suddenly obscured by a darkness even darker than that of the night sky. Breath glides across my ear and laughter, obviously female, dances about me. There's something pressed against my back, hands held over my eyes. They're doing that childish game you see kids participate in the playground. I never thought I'd be on the receiving end of such a gesture. Who is it? How many young girls do I even know? Maybe it's one of my students. Mrs. Cartwright's Enid, perhaps? But Enid would never do something like this. She's far too shy. Not as shy as Melly, but shy enough. What about my other students then? Laura? Jessica? Cornelia? No again. Laura's quite a chatterbox, but she'd never be this informal with me. Jessica spends most of her piano lessons staring up at the ceiling. Cornelia's family is from Poland, and though she's fluent in English, she has quite a strong accent. It isn't those girls. Why would it be... I'm not that close to any of my students. Who else could it be then? I think you've got the wrong person. Can you let go of me, please? I expect a sudden intake of breath, a frantic step backwards, a wide-eyed apology, but never comes. The girl only giggles. Her hands remain stubbornly in place, unmoved. Oh no, I definitely don't. I know it's you. I'd know it was you even if my eyes were pecked out by crows. Crows? If we really do know each other, could you at least let me see your face so I can confirm it? But that's not fun. I wanted you to guess. I've always been bad at guessing games. Suit yourself, but that's so boring. The girl steps back, drawing her hands away from my eyes. I turn, the wind and rain stinging my cheeks, and frown. I don't know what I'm expecting. For some reason, my heart's beating just a little louder than usual. Adrenaline. It isn't every day you encounter a mysterious young girl on a bridge in the dark. The situation sounds like something from a novel. What kind of novel I haven't decided yet. I'll make my mind up when I see her face. If she has long black hair and pale skin, it's probably a horror story. If she has blonde hair and blue eyes, maybe a romance. What are these stereotypes? But as it turns out, the mystery girl is a mixture of both. What? She's short, far shorter than me. Well, I knew that already, since I could feel her breath against the base of my neck when she held her hands against my eyes. But I still don't know who she is, at least I don't think I do. There's something vaguely familiar about her face, the shape of her nose, the arc of her eyebrows. But these points are nebulous, difficult to pin down with any kind of clarity. You know, I have a theory. I'm going to keep it to myself, though. I might just be like utter BS, but anyway. Her hair is dark, cut into a neat bob. Her eyes are bright green, and a small mischievous smile plays across her face, like a cat that's just caught a mouse. Would that make me the mouse? For some inexplicable reason, I feel a chill go down my spine, not because of the cold. There's something odd about this girl, but I can't quite put my finger on it. Something uncannily familiar, but disconcertingly alien. But I don't know her. I'm sure I don't know her. If I'd met somebody with bright green eyes like that, flickering like halogen lamps, I think I would remember. Normal people don't have eyes like that. I'm sorry, but I don't really think we've met before. This must be some kind of mistake. And I already said that it isn't. I know you anywhere, Robin Hawkins. Hawkins? So she knows my name. How does she know my name? Well, she doesn't answer my question. She can't. I forgot to say it out loud. She takes one step forward and peers up at me. Her eyes are large, all-encompassing, like twin gas planets. My head starts to pound. I feel dizzy. I was waiting for you. I was waiting for you for such a long time. I wanted to tell you something really important. Meet Belle for the first time. Dream girl. Okay. Well, you've ruined the I just got a Steam Prize award thing. It tells you her name before you find out. Come on, guys. I think I'm in love with you. What? Oh my god. So saying, the girl stands out on the tips of her toes and presses a soft kiss against my cheek. Her movements are so gentle and tender, I could almost kid myself into believing we're estranged lovers, reunited on this bridge for the first time in 15 years. But that can't be. I don't know how old this girl is, but there's a good chance she might not even be 15 yet. As for myself, I've been married to Sally for longer than that. Ah, the thought of Sally is enough to pull me back to my senses, more effective than a slap across the face. I'm sorry, but... I take hold of the girl's shoulders, frighteningly bony, and push her away. She doesn't look surprised by my manhandling, women handling, teenage handling. Help me out here. Instead, she stares at me, eyes unblinking. To be honest, it's kind of unnerving. I can't deny that I'm flattered by the attention, what middle-aged man wouldn't be, but at the same time I'm confused, anxious, and more than a little disturbed. What on earth was all about? But why? Just who are you, anyway? Don't you remember? I thought that might jog your memory. Not that we've ever kissed before. That would have been weird. Okay. I really don't know one of my old students. Do you usually let your students kiss you? Of course not. Good. I'm so happy I'm the only one. I could get awfully jealous, you know. Oh dear. But that doesn't help me out. I still don't know why. Alright, fine. I see we're not going to get anywhere without a bit of a push. She smiles, her eyes sparkling like precious jewels. First hydrogen planets, now jewels. This girl's eyes are an ever-changing mystery, a source of so many possible similes. They've almost taken on mythic properties. It's inevitable. I've never seen a person with eyes like these before. In that case, there's just a way. How can that be possible? Right, so... is it so my thoughts were, this is the cat in human form. But it is it? I step backwards, my back collides against the wrought iron railings, and cold seeps through my jacket into my skin. The girl stands in front of me, smiling coyly as though she hasn't done something shocking. Oh, fucking hell, there you go. Oh, so I was right. When I first saw her, that's what I thought it was the eyes. The eyes looked a lot like the cat. Was the cat called Belle? I suppose that kind of gave it away, if the cat was called Belle. They should really change that first award you get to, like, meet her for the first time or something instead of saying the actual name. There, growing right out of her scalp, are a pair of ears, a set of twitching black ears lined with white fur that tremble in the cold. Cat's ears. Why is this happening, guys? I should have looked into this more. Cat's eyes. A cat's tail too, peeking out beneath the hem of her dress. This must be a dream. This has to be a dream. The sudden kiss should have been enough of a giveaway, but the scene playing out before my eyes has transcended the border of possible but improbable, and right into the congratulations you've gone insane territory. Maybe I've been outside longer than I thought. It must be cold. Must be the cold. I'm seeing things. What other explanation is there? This can't be real. There's just no way. Do you know who I am now? Slowly, stupidly, I open my mouth and say the very first thing that comes into my head. Belle? The girl's face lights up, wreathed with smiles. That's right, I'm Belle, your great Aunt Clarice's cat. This is where we're going now. This is where we're going with this. This is not good. I mean, I suppose it's better that... Wait, I don't... Like... So the cat must be more than 30 years old, okay? I'm trying... This is cope on my part. So my concern... I didn't look into this game too much. Besides knowing there's lots of images of this... and I don't know, this main character. And I was like, oh, is this going to be this thing where he's like an underage girl or something? And I don't know where this is going to go. Maybe this will get, I mean, this is probably, it's going to go places, I assume. I don't know where exactly. But I'm a little bit relieved that this is his great Aunt Clarice's cat. At least she's not actually like a, I don't know, underage girl or one of his students. That, yeah, I would not have enjoyed that one. This is weird though. Of course, that makes sense, doesn't it? It's Belle. She's come back to thank me for trying to save her, though she didn't need saving to begin with. Yeah, that's what that says. That's just how the world works. Those who do good deeds will get rewarded eventually. I think there's something about it in the Bible. I don't know if there's anything about cat girls in there though. No, I've got a feeling there isn't. Granted, I never paid much attention in RE at school. This is definitely the UK. Religious education. So I can't be sure, I'm no priest. Falling to that river during my formative years must have scarred me more than I thought. And yet, despite my belief that this must be some kind of near-death induced dream, the girl, or Belle, should I say, doesn't disappear, doesn't even flicker. She remains, stubbornly solid, leaning her elbows against the iron railings as she stares out at the starry sky. If it weren't for the ears and tail, she would look like an ordinary girl. An ordinary girl who kisses middle-aged men in the middle of the night. That's so dodgy. This is so... What is this? Now I want to remind people that this is the same cat that I think yelped, acted like they were drowning. I think she was acting like she was drowning, almost on purpose, to get our man Robin to jump in, and then she just like swam out. And I feel that she did that on purpose. So I think that cat was a psycho. So if this is her in human form, bad things are going to happen, I suspect. Well, I suppose that isn't so unusual. Not really. Lots of girls do things like that. Some even make livings out of it. This is okay. But this isn't the same. I know it's not the same. I'm not really a cat, you see. What? Okay. I can tell that much. Maybe you can now, but you were totally taken in before, right? You, your great Aunt Clarice, your parents, and everyone, really. It was a very convincing disguise. The best Halloween costume I've ever seen. Thanks. Alright, what are you then? You still have cat ears, so you're not a human. Or at least I'm not a normal human. I managed to fool all of you humans, but the other cats were less convinced. They must have known on some instinctive level that I wasn't one of their own. That's probably why they didn't like me, didn't want to come near me. That's true enough. Great Aunt Clarice's other cats, Smokey, Mittens, Snowdrop, Jasper and Eric, never went near Belle. I always thought it was just a cat thing. My body was that of a cat, but I was more than that. I've always been more. You said all you humans, does that mean you're not human? How perceptive of you. She grins. And how many humans do you know that could disguise himself as a black cat for years upon years? Maybe not a black one specifically. What? Ha, you're funny. You're so freaked out right now, but you're trying hard to make jokes. I like it. Christ. I run a hand through my hair. It's damp and it clumps together in spikes. Water trickles down my forehead. This is ridiculous. How can a cat also be a girl? I don't understand. It's probably easiest to think of me as neither. I'm not a cat or a girl. Then what the fuck are you? Then what are you? Words begin to flit through my mind. None of them are particularly flattering. Squamous, eldritch, abomination. What the hell is squamous? What? I have to look this up. Squamous. Squamous. Covered with or characterized by scales? What? Why does squamous come to me? What is this? I'm actually, how can I phrase this? I suppose I would say spirit, but you humans might say other harsher things like demon, devil, maybe monster. Red flags, guys, red flags. Many red flags. I have a question, Belle, I have a question. Why did you dress up as a cat for all those years? What was the point? What were you doing? Why would a demon do that? That's a bit weird. What was your point? Monster? Not too far from abomination then. At least you didn't say elder god. I was taken on the form of a cat out of necessity for a while. I didn't really want to, but I had no choice. I was too weak to assume a human form at the time, so I had to settle for something smaller. These are all red flags. What were you hiding from? What do you mean you were too weak? I can't explain it right now. It's a long and boring story, and you probably wouldn't understand. No, try me. Probably not. Mate. I can't even understand the made-up sci-fi jargon in Doctor Who. Oh yeah. I mean, it's British as fuck. So how would I ever be able to wrap my head around something like this? I should have looked up more info on this game, but I like to go into these games not knowing as little as possible, and that sometimes hurts, but ends up coming back to bite me. Do you remember when I fell into that lake in Clarice's garden? I wasn't paying attention really, lost in my own world. When you're a cat and you can't communicate with anyone, daydreaming is all you can do to pass the time. Of course I remember, I almost died. I suppose you have a point. Humans only have one life after all. I take it you spirits, or whatever it is you are, have more. She taps a finger against her nose, that teasing smile flitting about her face. Now, that would be telling. A woman has to have some secrets. You're not a woman though. I thought you said you weren't a girl. I'm not. There's a big difference between a girl and a woman. Okay. Alright, fine. I won't pry. I still can't wrap my head around all this. Good boy. No. I don't appreciate that, yes. I don't appreciate that condescending tone. I am 42. And yet, despite your age, you're nothing more than a child compared to me. Whatever. Just how old is this girl? Sorry, woman. If we first met when I was 6, she must have a considerable head start over me. Isn't it rude to ask a lady her age, though? I was so happy when you tried to help me back then. I mean, I wasn't in any danger. But the fact a human would risk their life in order to aid me really was touching. Wait, is this why you've come back to haunt me? Would it have been a better thing if I didn't try to save you? Because I feel like this is not going to end well. It wasn't touching, it was stupid. Don't be too hard on yourself. I appreciated it. People aren't very nice to us spirits, even when we masquerade as something else. Maybe because you get up to no good. Though they can never tell the difference, I think they can sense it. That might be true. My parents were never too struck on Belle, neither was I. Wonder why though. What are the general duties of your average run-of-the-mill spirit? Meting out death, ferrying souls, heralding the apocalypse? If that's the case, it's no wonder people are suspicious of her. I vowed, ever since that day, when I had regained enough strength to take on a human form, I would find you and thank you. It became my mission, my reason for living, as it were. What? That's, dedication. I'm flattered, but you don't need to go that far. But I did it at the time. I really, really did. Sorry, but I did at the time. I really, really did. I needed something to care about, something to strive for. I've been a cat for so long, I was almost beginning to lose my sense of self. I was starting to forget who I was, and that's very dangerous for a spirit. Beings like me can take on other forms whenever we want, depending on how strong we are, but if we remain in one form too long and forget about our true selves, we'll be stuck. I was this close. She holds up her thumb and forefinger. The distance between them is minute, microscopic. To forgetting. To condemning myself to live the life of a common house cat for the rest of my life. A life that would have ended far, far too fast. Cats can't live for nearly as long as spirits can. No, I can't imagine they would be able to. Just what am I talking about? I have no idea what I'm saying. Never met a spirit before, so I have nothing to compare this girl's words to and no way of verifying your statements. I mean, it could just be an elaborate cosplay. I know you can get cat ear headbands, and that tail's probably fake. Attached in a very special way. I'm just saying what I think she wants to hear, trying to make her feel better. Over the course of the last 5 minutes, I've come to realize something. I don't like it when she frowns. Oh no, this is not good. I don't like this. Red flag, red flag. I'm glad you tried to save me, Robin. It woke me up from my stupor, shook me by the shoulders, metaphorically of course, because cats don't have shoulders. Do they not? Until all the lethargy accumulated over the years fell away. I'd almost begun to forget it was an act. I'd almost forgotten myself. You made me remember. You made me remember who I really am. You didn't save me from drowning, but you saved me in a different way. Okay. That's cool. You saved my identity. You saved, not my physical body, but my sense of self. That's why I want to thank you so much. I'd be nothing more than a dead kitty, a stone-cold cat carcass if it weren't for you. I wouldn't be able to talk, to cry, to laugh. I wouldn't even have opposable thumbs. Belle holds up her hands, bending each of her fingers in turn, like a child showing off an art project to a parent. So thank you. I can't thank you enough. Thank you from the very bottom of my heart. Okay, that's it. End of story. She says thank you. She goes her way. I go my way. And then this visual novel ends. She looks at me earnestly, her green eyes intense. I shiver. It feels like an invisible ghostly hand is brushing against every single vertebra of my spine. I look away, flustered by her forthright honesty, and run a hand through my hair. I really am a typical man, bad with feelings, cowed by confessions. Well, you already said thank you, so you didn't need to kiss me. Was that also out of gratitude? Partially, maybe. It's because I realized something crucial. What? Why am I worried about this? What? Saying thank you wasn't enough. Oh dear. You helped more than you could ever know. Her eyes flash like faulty street lamps, harsh and intense. I can see streaks of bright green pressed up close against my eyelids when I blink, burnt inside my skull. You almost gave your life to help me. Now I want to return the favour. I eye her suspiciously. I like this character. I like Robin. He's got at least some sense. And how are you going to do that? I'm getting a bad feeling about this. This dream, nightmare, hallucination, whatever you want to call it, has become too real. I was playing along until now, waiting till I woke up, but it never happened. I don't think I'll ever wake up. A bizarre fancy has impeded upon my mundane life, sticking to my skin and chilling my bones. It clings to me, one skinny arm threaded through mine, and stares at me with big round eyes. Uh-oh. Penetrating. Why are we saying this? Her breasts... Why we point this out? Her breasts are small, much like the rest of her body, but they feel soft pressed against my arm. I don't know if she's noticed, or was that her intention all along? Why are we focusing on this guy? You're a middle-aged man. They shouldn't... No. Her bare arms are exposed to the biting wind, the falling rain, but she doesn't shiver. Her body is cold, but it feels yielding at the same time. For all her talk about being a spirit, a demon, a monster, she looks like a young girl to me. She's so short I could rest my chin against the top of her bobbed black head. I don't like the form that she's took. Why is the form she's taking like this? She must be around about the same height as Melly, give or take a few inches. Don't compare her to your daughter. Don't do that. Oh, here we go with this CG again. I want to be with you all the time. I want to help you as you helped me and give you a shoulder to cry on when things get tough. And a smiling face to congratulate you when things go well. I feel like there's a warning here that you shouldn't deal with spirits too much, and this is like a story that's going to show us why. I wouldn't be alive without your sacrifice, so I belong to you now. I'm all yours. What? What does she mean, all yours? Humans aren't any objects any one person can possess, no matter what marriage contracts would have you believe. Though Sally shares my last name on legal documents, she still publishes her translations under her maiden name. Oof, we've been married for almost 2 decades, but we do not belong to one another. True. I couldn't force Sally to obey me even if I tried, which I haven't, because I like to think that I respect her. But respect doesn't count for all that much when neither of us particularly likes one another. Belle isn't a human anyway. She's not even a cat. I don't know what she is. She isn't even a human anyway, right? What do you mean? Why are you saying she's not a human anyway? Why anyway? Maybe there are different rules in regards to possession when it comes to non-human entities. Okay, if there are, I wouldn't know. I've never met a spirit before. You heard me. I want to devote myself to you, my entire being. This is all red flags. My each and every eyelash belongs to you, and the dirt beneath my fingernails and the teeny tiny bones inside my toes. I don't like this. It's good. I wouldn't be able to appear before you in this body if you hadn't saved me, so I owe you. I owe you a lot in more ways than one. I don't like where this is going. Red flags. Without you, I would not even be alive. The cold wind makes me shiver. I should have worn my coat. Why didn't I wear my coat? I must have been in too much of a hurry. The argument I had with Sally made my blood boil. I needed to escape before I suffocated. The cold air was good for me at first. It cleared my mind. But now I feel uncomfortable. Well, that's maybe not because of the cold air. Not so much of that, and more of the weird spirit human thing in front of you. She's standing close, far too close. Yeah, I was thinking that. She smells of the rain. Her hair sticks to her forehead and her breasts are still pressed against my arm. It's cold, but I'm starting to feel warm. Uncomfortably so. This is making me feel so uncomfortable. Oh. Belle's green eyes flash like the coloured bands trapped inside glass marbles. One more thing. I'm still rather weak. I can maintain a human form, but I can only use it for a short while. Human bodies are difficult to materialise into being, even for a spirit such as myself. They're so intricate, like grandfather clocks. You never think it, but inside here... She taps her chest, but I don't think she's telling me to stare at her breasts. what little she has. Why why are you throwing shade? Rather, she's imploring me to look beyond that, right past her skin, into the inner workings of her alien, unfamiliar body. There's so much stuff going on all the time, so many organs and muscles, and so much blood. My whole body is tethered together with cord and wire, run by electrical impulses, neurons firing into the brain. It's very hard to focus on maintaining such a precarious, delicate existence for so long. It's exhausting. If I let my guard down for even a moment, I just disappear into thin air, like a candle being blown out. I've never heard anybody talk about the human body in such an impassioned way. It's strange, since Belle isn't a human herself. Maybe that's why she's so eager. People always get interested in the unknown. Why else do so many people long for the good old days? We always do it, nostalgically harkening back to pasts we did not even enjoy at the time. The grass is always greener. True. Everything becomes more attractive with distance. Even the finer workings of the human body. Perhaps, if I was not a human being, I'd also find the respiratory system endlessly fascinating. Wasn't being a cat just as difficult? They have lots of little bones too. Being a cat was difficult, but I grew used to it. A few decades will do that to you. Being a human, however, is rather new. I need some time. You've not assumed a human form before? Even as I ask the question, I feel myself wince. My left eye twitches. I must sound like such a fool. This isn't the kind of thing I should say. This discourse has no place in civilized conversation. It's the kind of fanciful dialogue that may exist in a young adult novel or a TV show, but real life? My life? Not a chance. But I still ask all the same, and Belle responds in turn. She doesn't even blink. Of course I have. How else would I know how to speak? It all comes with practice. Like riding a bike. Yup, once you've done it, you don't forget, but it's been a while. Define a while. I can't. Spirits live longer than humans, so my perception of time is a bit off. But, if you had to guess, I don't know. The last time I was a human was maybe 40 years ago, but I've been alive longer than that, longer than you could imagine. Alright, guys, it's okay. She's over 40. With the body of a young woman. It's okay, guys. The FBI can go back. I should laugh. Wow, I don't know what to say. Should I turn into a joke? That might be for the best if I don't want to go insane, presuming I haven't already. I don't know if I feel comfortable about this. I should probably ask my mother for permission before I start chatting to such an old lady. Belle giggles and swats at me playfully, like a cat batting at a bird's carcass. I see why she wasn't lying when she said she'd been a cat for so long. I'm surprised she hasn't tried to lick me yet. Mate, don't say things like that. Not in this context. Or herself. No, don't. Stop. You stop. I'd love to stay and chat, but I could feel myself getting faint. I may have to take my leave soon. But this won't be the last time you see me. I'll make sure of that. With that cheery exclamation, Belle stands on her tiptoes and plants a small kiss in the tip of my nose. That's kind of adorable. The gesture is unexpected and strangely sweet. I stare at her stupidly. Alright, Robin. I'll see you soon. Much sooner than you think. I'm not sure if I should take that as a threat or not. And what's with that hee? She isn't a cute schoolgirl, no matter how hard she's trying. She isn't even a girl at all. She's a spirit. This also sounds like so much cope. What if this is just a girl pretending to be his cat? Because that would be fucked up. Actually, don't think those thoughts. Don't think those thoughts, Ashmanix. She's a spirit, it's okay. This is hopefully all in his imagination. Something vague and unfixed like a breath of air. I mean, she's confirmed a couple of things. I mean, she's confirmed that the name of the cat, the name of his great aunt. Now, he might have shared that with some of his students, though. That would be, oh man. That would be fucked up. Do spirits have genders? Did she assume a female form as an act of whimsy? A silly joke? I wonder. I don't have the time to ask. I blink once, twice, and Belle's already vanished, her back melting into the surrounding darkness. I collapse against the railings of the bridge, sapped of strength. The iron bars are cool against my back, but my face feels hot. My nose tingles. I can still feel her lips pressed against it, that soft and girlish kiss. I hold one hand against my nose gingerly, as though it belongs to somebody else. A different man. A better man, perhaps, whose wife still loves him, and whose daughter does not hide in her room every time he comes back home. Oh, that is not good. Oh. Why am I thinking about Melly now? About Sally? You should. These are your family. Maybe it's guilt. Yeah, I feel guilty. It's because deep down inside, though I tried to tell myself otherwise, I'm happy such a pretty young girl kissed me. This is so bad. Of course I am. Right. Despite the falling rain, her body felt really warm. Damn, I didn't expect that to auto disappear. Now, when I return home, chilled from the wind and soggy with rain, I discover that the lights in the house are off. Sally must be asleep. I'm not sure about Melly. For all I know, she could be curled up in her bedroom, curtains drawn, reading a book, or searching the net with her old laptop. Or she's sitting on Discord, chatting to degenerates. Or maybe she's just sitting there, staring at the ceiling, cursing me silently. I have no idea. I really don't know that much about Melly, do I? That's really bad. How on earth did we become so estranged? We're father and daughter. She's my flesh and blood, but she might as well be a stranger. I wish I could shrug it off with an oh well, and sometimes I can, but it feels far too pressing right now. Far too depressing, more like. Sorry, I just had some dodgy thoughts. I try to think what's happening here, but I open the front door and step inside, closing it behind me with a soft click. I don't want to wake anybody up. I even try to stifle the jingling of my keys, though I doubt that small sound would be enough to rouse anyone. I'm just trying to be considerate. Some people would call that overcompensating. I lean more towards cowardice. I don't want to get drawn into another row. I don't turn the lights on. Instead, I grope my way up the stairs in the dark, one hand on the wall, the other on the banister. Wait, aren't you not allowed to go into the bedroom? Sally scolds me when I brush against the wall with my fingertips. She says it will stain the paint. Yeah, beige paint. Oh, beige paint. I feel like that was the standard in the early 2000s for houses. The house, I'm assuming the house is relatively new. The carpet is beige too. Or are we going with my life is beige? Why did we decide to carpet the stairs in beige? It shows every single speck of dirt, no matter how minuscule, and a tight-lipped Sally has to vacuum each and every step, all 18 of them every other week. Man, I know this pain. Light-coloured carpet is bad. Maybe I should feel guilty for not cleaning the house more often, but Sally does work from home, and unlike me, she has more free time. Mate, I don't think you necessarily have more free time. I suppose she doesn't have to travel, but still. Besides, she was the one who decided on the colour scheme. If she likes beige so much, she can have it, but she's the one who has to deal with it. He's not he's not wrong, but at the same time, it would be nice if you offered to help out. Come on, man. Damn, I really am cold, aren't I? Yeah. Wait, cold in your heart? Because that's what you sound like. So much for trying to be courteous. Why did I bother leaving the lights off? I should have flicked them all on, then tramped up the stairs in my shoes, tapping on each step for good measure. Mate, what the fuck? I like to think I'm a decent person, but I'm not always sure. I can be pretty selfish at times. Yep. You try to be a decent person, but don't automatically assume you are. feel like, or don't automatically assume that everything you do is decent. You always have to put effort, right? There's always the temptation to be a dick, and you always have to be aware of that. In my opinion, at least Belle likes me. Oh, he's already saying things like this. No, don't unhealthy reliance on this fucking weirdo. I'm pretty sure she was just wearing cat. Oh my god, if it's someone just wearing cat ears and a fucking butt plug tail. It's a fucking girl, and he's like, oh, that'd be so messed up. Oh, I fucking hope that's not the case. That might be a small consolation if I aren't beginning to doubt whether or not she actually exists. Hopefully it is a figment of his imagination. A very messed up imagination. I don't know why you'd imagine your long lost kitty, well, not long lost, but the kitty from your youth, to be a pretty young girl who's like, I need to help you in any way I can. Not good. Maybe I've gone insane. Is that where Melly caught it from? It could run in the family. Great Aunt Clarice was definitely a few cards short of a full deck, given she had all those cats. Maybe she just wanted a lot of company. I let myself into my bedroom. No, not my bedroom, our bedroom. And shrug out of my jacket silently. Sally doesn't star. Oh, you're being so passive aggressive with the bedroom thing. I could see her lying underneath the covers, curled up on herself, a lump that rises and falls in the dark. She's lying on the left side of the bed, resolutely facing the wall. Does she still not want to see me? Sally looks younger when she's sleeping. Her blonde hair is loose, free from her bun, and falls over her pillow across her face. Her pyjamas are strangely cute for a woman 1 year shy of 40. Good age. A demure white gown, like something a student at Mallory Towers might wear. Mallory Towers? What the fuck's that? Wait, now I have to look this up. Oh god, these references. I feel like I should know these things. What? Mallory Towers was some TV series? What the fuck? First episode date 2020? A boarding school what is set post World War II? Why do I not know about this? Why is he referencing Mallory Towers? That's a bit concerning. Anyway. All of a sudden, I'm run through with a sharp stabbing sensation. Guilt. I'm sorry for being such a lousy husband, Sally Pally. You deserve better, Sally Pally. Cringe. But hey, if that's between you and your wife, man. She doesn't respond. Of course she doesn't. Apologies don't mean all that much when you forget to say them out loud. You should have said out loud. Right. I think, oops, shit. Wait, let me just, go to the main menu. Pardon me. I think we'll leave it there for this part of the playthrough. That was one day. That was something. A lot of red flags here. Apparently this girl here is, Belle. Our great-grandmother's or great-aunt's cat. That was an asshole and that we almost died for. Also, why is this is so not going to end well. Like, I read some of the reviews on Steam for this, and they're like, "Oh man, I didn't expect this to go where it went." And I'm like, "Oh," or it's like it just heads towards it being like really hard, a tough story to go through. So yeah, thanks Hentai Hero. I think it was Hentai Hero recommended it. Yes. So we'll leave it there for now. I am Ash Mannix, this is the Sweetest Monster, and I'll see you next time. Later.